We are doing this unbiased. Unbiased. Remember that. Unbiased. To start this episode, I want to say the Eagles won the Super Bowl last year, right? And with that, you would think that teams in the division would understand you guys can't really talk trash to us. But there's a certain team that even though we've won the Super Bowl, even though we beat them to go to the Super Bowl, they want to, I got 5 on it. We got the best quarterback in the NFC, though. Yeah, we lost, but we got the best quarter. He's top 5. Your quarterback ain't top 10. Look what Cam said. Look out with Juju. He got good grills. How do you lose an NFC championship game and still find the time to say, I have 5 on it? We put double 5 on you guys, and you guys are singing like you guys won. I get it. You guys weren't supposed to be there last year, but y'all pissing me off. Y'all pissing me off. Y'all pissing me off. We're here to break down the Washington Commanders, the Washington Skins. I'm happy that I went to a game last year in Washington and found out that a lot of you guys still call it the Skins. I appreciate that. I'm not going to do that so much so on this channel, but going to the game, it was a good atmosphere. I got to see Santana Moss. You know, whether I like Washington or hate Washington, Moss is the baller. Santana, you know, that was cool. But breaking down Washington, yes, you guys hit. Yes. Thank you, Adam Peters. I've heard it all. I know everything about Washington. You will think I am a fan when you're done with this video. Yes, Adam Peters guessed correctly, even though most of y'all wanted Drake May. Even though most of y'all wanted some offensive lineman or something like that. There were Washington fans that actually wanted Taylor Heineke. Not Taylor Heineke. What's that dude's name? The Eagles' third string. Yeah, Sam Howell. Yeah. There were a lot of y'all that wanted Sam Howell. Calm down. Last year, you guys ended the season 12-5. Easily, to me, the greatest rookie season ever. I went to 2 games last year. Both games, Eagles versus Washington. I went to the game in Washington where Jalen Hurts got concussed and got injured thanks to a dirty hit by Frankie Louvu. So then in the NFC Championship game, I knew I had to go so I could boo the hell out of Louvu. I literally paid just to boo this man. I needed to go to boo this man, and I felt at home finding out that many Eagles fans with me felt the same. There was a little kid next to me saying, F you, Louvu, don't ever touch my quarterback. I loved it. It was great being at the NFC Championship game, and I went with the Washington fan who's still screaming at the end of the game, you know, we're going to be back next year, right? Neither here nor there. You guys had a great year last year. Frankie Louvu, besides the dirty hit, I mean, the man played out of his mind next to Bobby Wagner. Those were great signings. Even Jeremy Shin turned out to be a good signing, even though y'all did let him go this year. I mean, Washington had a magical season last year, if we're being honest. You got to be honest about it. Amazing year. Terry McLaurin showed what he could do with a top quarterback, and everybody's expecting it to be the same. Well, Terry wasn't training at training camp, so we got to hope that Terry was on his workouts outside of camp. But now back to Washington, back to Adam Peters, back to what they did after. You want to know what pissed me off also? The last touchdown for Washington. Washington is losing in the NFC Championship game, and I'm watching Jaden Daniels. What? Y'all losing in the NFC Championship game to go to the Super Bowl. You out here dancing? And everybody cool with that. Yo, that's a dope-ass dance. Yo, I hope we see that next year. The departures for the Washington Commanders, De'Ami Brown, Olamide Zaccheaus, Deontay Fowler, who was good for y'all. I was shocked to see Deontay Fowler go. Jonathan Allen, that was a huge cut. I was expecting a lot. And Jeremy Chin, who I also wasn't expecting. I liked the signing, and I thought that he kind of played pretty well. I think he might have had 100 tackles. But you guys got busy. You guys got busy in the offseason. Yes, you guys let go of these guys, but and I say this all the time to my Washington friends, what y'all going to do with that offensive line? Well, y'all shut me up this year. I'll give y'all that. Washington trades for Laramie Tunsil. I'm trying not to cuss on here. I'm doing pretty good. I'm not cussing, but during these Washington episodes, I'm going to have to censor or something because I can't stand these guys. I can't stand these guys. But they went out and got Laramie Tunsil. They went out and got Von Miller. They went out and got Javon Kinlaw. Now, does Kinlaw take the shoes of Allen and fill them? I don't really know. But I do know Dan Quinn is pretty good on defense. I don't go genius with Dan Quinn. Maybe because he's been a Cowboy and he's been a Commander. But if we're going to respect the man for what he's done in the league, NFC Championship with the first year, he always had Dallas as a top defense, and he was the head coach for the Falcons when they won. So while we can give him the credit, much respect to him, how do you plan to come into this year? What are the goals this year? You guys kept the OC, Mr. Kingsbury. You guys kept the DC, Mr. Witt. Mr. Witt, don't talk about my quarterback again, especially after that 55 piece. He heard what you said. We're going to hit him like a quarterback. Y'all couldn't touch him. 3 touchdowns. He does this for fun. Don't do that again. That's my warning. One warning. Washington, you guys have a solid chance at actually being something, but a lot of it's going to be behind the scenes. A lot of it's going to be who's going to be a good target for Jaden Daniels besides 17. I know you guys got Deebo Samuels, but I don't think that that's the move for the long term. I think you guys are maybe trying to build for the short term right now to see how far Jaden can take you, and then try to build in the future, maybe with next year's draft or maybe with a draft pick. I don't know how Washington fans feel about the offseason. I remember hearing names like T. Higgins might go to Washington and DJ Reed might go to Washington. And, they might trade to get a second-round pick for Jonathan Allen. None of those really happened. None of those happened at all. And when you look on it, I've asked some Washington fans, would you guys, when Tyreek Hill asked for a trade, want to trade for Tyreek Hill? And the answer was, and I got mixed answers, but I didn't get a lot of yeses. Like, yeah, I would do that. It was more like, I trust Adam Peters. He doesn't want to do it. Adam Peters not Howie Roseman. Adam Peters not John Lynch. What's going on here? But I respect the faith. And looking at these moves here, he's done the trench work, the DB work. I'm always going to respect this last draft class with Jaden Daniels because it looks like in one draft class he found his offensive and defensive captains for the future. I love the pick with Mikey Sanistrell. Mikey's a towner out here. Mikey's one of us. Love the pick. Hate when he goes against the Eagles. Although he had a great game last season. I'm going to call it how I see it. But be that as it may, coming into the 2025 season, I don't feel like there was enough great moves to put them in position to kind of make a run for the NFC Championship game again. I hope that makes sense. I feel like all the moves they made got subtracted when the Packers went out and traded for Micah Parsons. I feel like the moves they made hurts them when you looked at the Vikings revamp their defensive line with Javon Hargraves and their very own Jonathan Allen. Then they went out and got Adam Thielen to add with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Now, if their quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, can play well, I think that offense is way more weaponized than our offense. I didn't even bring up Aaron Jones. I didn't even bring up T.J. Hawkinson. But when it comes to Washington, I understand that we're trying to see what we got with Jaden. But I do feel as if there still needs to be a weaponization of the offense. Then you guys trade Brian Robinson. I was kind of shocked on that. No matter how good or bad of a camp he had, he was y'all best runner last year. And he was hurt. There was a game that I felt that if B-Rob played and you guys actually gave him the ball in the amount of carries he needed, because I hate to say this, but that running back by committee doesn't work for guys like B-Rob. He needs his touches so he can punish the defense, keep punishing them, and then break it off. But listen, you guys had a great year last year, so I can't really say that this isn't going to work when it worked. It clearly worked. You guys were in the Final Four. Now, to show last year wasn't a fluke, it's going to take a lot, because I feel you guys may have depleted areas that didn't need depleting. But coming into the season, let's look at where I have the schedule. Now, to start, we're going to start with the New York Giants. I'm giving y'all a win there. I'm giving y'all a loss at the Green Bay Packers. I'm giving you a win at the Raiders and a win at the Falcons. I then give you 4 straight losses. Hear me out now. Chargers, Bears, Cowboys, Chiefs. Now, I may have did this with the intention of hating on Washington. I'm sorry. I can't hold back the fact that I don't like you guys. I was at the game where the Eagles forced 5 turnovers and Devontae Smith drops a pass on 3rd down, and you guys go down the field, and Jaden Daniels scores that touchdown 10 seconds left. I was celebrating like a son of a gun. I was doing all the dances. That's when this was hot. A.J. Brown. There was a catch Saquon made. I'm doing this. And I'm taunting little kids. I'm taunting old ladies. I'm taunting everybody. Grown-ass men. I'm not messing with this guy. This guy might be drunk. I wasn't drunk. I was sober. I was just enjoying myself. Man, those people made me hear it when this man threw a touchdown pass to none other than Jamison Crowder. These people were hugging each other. They didn't talk to each other all game. They're just looking at me, hating on me. But when they won, oh my God. Oh, brother, sister. They weren't looking at me though. They weren't looking. They knew I was sitting there pissed off as a bitch, but they knew, don't maybe not mess with this guy. I was on something, but respect to Washington on that one. But be that as it may, the 4 straight losses. Let's go to them. Let's actually bring it back. So I have y'all beating the Giants, losing to the Packers, beating the Raiders, beating the Falcons. I then have y'all losing 4 straight, losing to the Chargers, the Bears, the Cowboys, and the Chiefs. I then have y'all beating the Seahawks, losing to the Lions, and beating the Miami Dolphins. After your bye week, I have y'all beating the Broncos, losing to the Vikings, beating the Giants, losing to Philly, losing to the Cowboys, and beating Philly at the end of the season. I must have been drunk. These are projected, and I don't actually fully believe you guys are gonna beat Philly. Maybe Jalen. Oh, it's the end of the season. All right, let's go back here. So you guys beat Philly because I have Philly winning the division comfortably. By the way, I also have Philly benching their starters at the end of the season, by the way. And I have you guys fighting for dear life. So Jaden Daniels is going to play. And Jaden does beat Philly when Jalen Hurts isn't playing. Yes, the team carries Jalen Hurts. But when Jalen Hurts isn't playing, that's the only time Jaden Daniels can beat Philly. Keep that in mind. But that gives them a projected record of 8-9. I do give them a ceiling of 12-5. To repeat that again, I want to see if they can. I'm not fully bought on the full team. I'm bought on Jaden Daniels. I was a fan before the draft, but I want to see, can they actually do it again as a team? Or are they going to lean on the kid to kind of carry the team on his own? I understand where people say Jaden Daniels may be one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but mentally, he has to be able to bring the team forward as well. Let me know what y'all think. I'm so happy to be done with Washington. I might burn this file. This is Ash with Blirt TV. Ow! Blirt TV. We gon' run it.